Two people are hospitalized and an alleged gunman in custody after a shooting in Smith County. We're live near White House with the latest.
And I thought, why is there firecrackers in here? And then I actually got hit. And, I'd never been shot before.
Plus, we're hearing from some of the survivors of a deadly shooting rampage at a gaming tournament in Florida.
And it's another hot day in East Texas, but as you can see, rain is in the forecast and on the radar. I'll have all details on your forecast coming up very soon. East Texas News Midday starts right now.
Caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching East Texas News at midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for East Texas News Midday. We begin this midday with some breaking news. Two people are hurt and one person is in custody after a shooting in the White House area. Right now, authorities are at a home off of South Hill Creek Road in a neighborhood near the Hill Creek boat ramps on Lake Tyler. That's where we find our Blake Holland standing by after a press conference with the sheriff's office just wrapped up. Blake, what did they have to say about what happened?
Well, Hunter, we are learning more about what happened this morning. The Smith County Sheriff's Office tells me that this all started with a report of shots fired here at a home along Forest Lane around 10 this morning. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see what still remains a very active crime scene this morning. Sheriff's Office says they believe the suspect is the one who called 911 this morning. He told them there were two victims. Once deputies got on scene along with EMS, they took that man into custody and then began treating the two victims. One of the victims, we're told, was taken to a nearby hospital by helicopter and another by ambulance. We do not know their conditions as of right now. The Smith County Sheriff's Office tells us that they won't be releasing too much more information on this scene today. Right now, they're still working to make contact with the families of the victims. But what we know right now is that one suspect is in custody in this shooting this morning and two victims right now being treated at local hospitals. Again, we do not know their conditions, but of course, we're going to work to get more information on what happened this morning, and we'll bring that to you on East Texas Now and also later today at 4, 5, and 6. For now, we're live in White House. Blake Holland, East Texas News.
Well, thank you, Blake. And of course, we'll keep you updated with the latest on this story and much more on your KLTV and KTRE mobile apps, and of course on East Texas Now. Into Florida now, the search for a motive continues this morning after a gunman opened fire at a crowded video game tournament in Jacksonville, Florida. At least two people were killed and nearly a dozen others hurt before police say the suspect took his own life. ABC's Elizabeth Herr brings us the latest. Now, one of the victims killed in the shooting has been identified as 24-year-old Elijah Clayton from California. At last check, 6 people remain hospitalized. And new this midday, deputies with the Smith County Sheriff's Office arrested a Lindale man overnight after he reportedly set a hospital bed on fire. 20-year-old Mason Reed Wyatt is charged with arson. According to a spokeswoman at UT Health, the incident happened at the main campus, but the damage was limited to just minor damage to the mattress. She says nobody was hurt. As Pope Francis tours Ireland, an explosive new letter details corruption at the Vatican. The 11-page letter claims Pope Francis knew about sex abuse allegations against disgraced ex-Cardinal Theodore McCarrick. The letter alleges Pope Francis covered up the allegations for years and chose to, quote, rehabilitate McCarrick rather than force a resignation. The Vatican has not responded to the letter. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz has a campaign stop planned in East Texas tonight. He'll be in Palestine as part of his re-election tour to clinch his second six-year term. And right now he's on the road in the Colony and will make an afternoon stop in Corsicana before heading to Anderson County. If you'd like to catch up with Cruz during his stop, he'll be arriving at the Old Magnolia Cafe on West Oak Street around 6:30 tonight. Cruz faces off against Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke in November's general election. Well, it promises to be a hot one today, but it sounds like some of us have a slim chance for some showers. Let's check in now with meteorologist Cody Gottschalk for our first look at our forecast. Now, Cody, who's got the best shot today at seeing some of that elusive rain?
Well, Hunter, anybody in deep East Texas and our easternmost counties, I'll kind of like spell it out in river conditions. So if you don't have any plans for Labor Day weekend, Hunter, I'd say go ahead and prepare for the heat, but definitely
plant something outside. I mean,
something.
Hey, we'll look at the best.
The last hurrah of summer.
Exactly.
Think,
soak it up. There we go. All right, thanks, Cody. Now to the latest on Tropical Storm Lane. Although Hawaii avoided a direct hit from the storm, areas of the Big Island are still inundated with water and flash flooding. So much, in fact, it's being compared to another devastating hurricane, this time last year. ABC's Rob Marciano has more.
Overnight, Tropical Storm Lane continuing to rain a year ago this weekend.
Now, some areas of southeast Texas got 60 inches of rain during Harvey, and to mark the anniversary, voters passed a $2.5 billion plan to improve flood control measures across the Houston area. After last year's deadly flu season, health officials are revisiting this year's flu vaccine. Details coming up. But first, a superfood trend that could be just as bad as it is good, depending on who you talk to. We'll take a closer look at the topic blowing up social media feeds when we come back. Coconut oil. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, if you're not already doing the research yourself, odds are your social media feeds are blowing up with debate. With more on what you need to know, here's ABC's Janae Norman.
ABC News.
Well, the CDC has issued its updated flu vaccine recommendations for the upcoming season after last season's deadly flu outbreak. The CDC recommends getting the vaccine by the end of October, and there will be more choices this year. The nasal spray flu vaccine is once again available after a 2-year hiatus. Also, people with egg allergies can now safely get the vaccine. Doctors recommend everyone 6 months and older get vaccinated. Well, tennis fans will have plenty to celebrate at this year's 50th annual U.S. Open, and not just the outstanding play. Wait until you hear how chefs are hoping to hit a grand slam with the crowd. Stay with us.
There's a lot happening.
The modern version of the oldest tennis championship in the world kicks off today as the U.S. Open gets underway. Forget the action on the court, though. There's already plenty of attention for what's being served up in the stands. ABC's Adrienne Bankert gives us a preview of what's cooking.
Now I'm going to eat this food. Bye.
Now, it's also the U.S. Open's 50th anniversary, so there will be even more reason to raise a glass this year to the best in tennis. Well, this weekend included another first-place finish for a movie that celebrates wealth and a close call for two of the biggest names in music entertainment. More from Hollywood after this. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Christopher Watson in Los Angeles.
What about us taking an adventure east?
Another look at weather across your area. Looking at some showers starting to develop down in deep East Texas. Not looking too strong right now, but we will keep our eye on them, just so you know. Let's just hope that rain keeps on coming. Looking at your day part forecast throughout the area. Not looking too bad. It's already near 90 though, so it is hot. Should be around mid-90s by it's time to pick up the kiddos from school. 20% chance for rain. As you can see, rain should start to taper off as the sun goes down.
All right, well, good news. There's some rain out there. Thanks so much for joining us for East Texas News Midday. The latest news and weather continues on East Texas Now. We hope you have a wonderful day.